the real Black Swan, Hadia.
And I'm Mila Kunis, here to ruin your dancing career, Mario.
And welcome to Alrightness, the movie review YouTube series where we watch movies
and tell you about them,
whether you like it or not,
because we've got opinions,
whether you like it or not.
And as we said last week, we're gonna watch Suspiria, the remake on Amazon Prime.
I don't know what this is.
To see what we thought about the original from 1977, check last week's episode, which may have a link if we figured out how to do that.
Jerry.
Who knows?
Jerry.
I think that's actually me in the uploads.
Mario.
Possibly Mario. Figuring it out. Whatever. Cool.
So yeah, we're gonna go watch.
Goodbye.
Bye. That was so much better.
That was the movie I was hoping for.
Mm-hmm. With the first one.
Yeah.
First of all, it was a whole hour longer than the other one,
which probably helped. But also, they got more done in the same amount, like in the first
47 minutes. They got more done
than the entire hour and a half of the original.
Yeah. Like they established these women were ghosts. I mean,
witches.
Were ghosts.
Hadia's a little drunk right now.
I'm not. That's the funny thing. I'm not at all.
That they were witches.
They were witches from from minute one. They established that.
They definitely set up the story. They set up the whole story from the beginning to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Patricia's character played a better role. She doesn't die until the end.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Because it's a brand new movie.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen it yet,
don't watch.
Not your fault.
Stop watching this video now.
Yeah, immediately. Witches.
So they're witches. Beginning minute one. We know that they're witches.
We know that they're doing a ritual because they need a new body for
Mother Suspiriorum.
Mother Marcos, who is claiming to be
Mother Suspiriorum,
anointed by Mother Suspiriorum.
Suspiriorum.
Yeah, yes. I think that was it.
Well, because it
was in the subtitles, and I honestly
Suspiriorum. There we go. Got it. It was Latin.
Because there's three whole of the original witches, and they anoint you based on that. The other ones, they don't matter because they're not in this one.
So it was like a new story, but the same names for the girls: Patricia, Susie, Sarah.
It was the same plot,
and the same plot, except Mother Marcos isn't necessarily a witch that was burned and then bought a house and did all this stuff. They're not even really they're keeping it a secret from the dancers, but they're not really keeping it a secret that they're witches because two detectives show up and then they put them under a spell.
They're very powerful witches.
Yeah.
And what I liked about this one that they didn't do in the first one was that these witches were witches about women empowerment. They use their powers
to
make women to give women a stronger place in this world,
rather than being a coven of evil, mentally disturbed people.
Yeah.
This movie does take place in 1977, which is the year that the original movie came out, I think.
Yes.
And it does take place in Germany again, but it takes place in they have a heavy what is it called? Emphasis on the fact that it's Cold War Berlin.
Cold War?
Cold War.
Yes.
Cold War Berlin. So you see the wall a lot. You hear a lot about Russia invading. Tilda Swinton plays 3 characters, including a Jewish man whose wife was taken to the camps.
Pretty convincingly.
Yeah. The prosthetic wasn't great because it didn't move that well. There's a scene where she's talking to Sarah and eating and talking at the same time, and the lips don't close. But other than that, it was.
I think there's only one angle in the early beginning where I looked and I was like,
"That's still
Swinton."
They use modern dance instead of ballet in this movie, and I loved that because it was modern dance. I think is more conducive to this kind of movie because modern dance is all weird angles and not restrictive like ballet, kind of like magic is.
Yeah.
So...
And they were using the dance as magic rituals.
Yeah.
To hurt people or put other people in power or whatever.
Yeah.
And this kind of dancing allows for that because it's a bit more natural. I mean, the poses aren't natural, but it has more of like a grounding in nature.
Yeah.
And more like emphasis on like energy and symbolism.
Mm-hmm. Rather than ballet, which is like pretty lines and tell a story lyrically. This is tell a story with your body and your breath.
Yeah, and use your body to like... Your body isn't even your body. It's a form, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So it also has much better pacing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like weird shit keeps happening, but like just when you're like starting to understand one weird thing, another weird thing happens.
Yeah. But not like,
in a way,
not like in the original where it seemed like, oh, I'm done with that story. I'm going to start a new story.
Yeah, it was all building on each other.
Like you get to see Sarah and Susie develop their friendship rather than just somehow having one.
Yeah. Because they're living next door to each other.
Yeah. The girls were all nice in this one. It didn't seem like...
Because it wasn't ballet.
Yeah, that's true, honestly.
No offense to ballet people out there, but also... a little bit of offense.
The acting was still kind of 70s-ish and like over the top, but not, but like in a like a modern day way. Like it was like a lot of their reactions were over the top, like Olga when she freaked out.
Yeah.
But like in a natural way, even though it was still over the top.
It was like they're acknowledging the old movie. They acknowledge the old movie a lot.
Yeah.
And pay homage to it. I said it right that time.
You did. You said it right.
They paid homage to the old film.
They paid cheese to the old film.
The oldest witch, Mother
Marcos,
is old and decrepit from years and years of something, and she needs a new body. And they thought it was going to be Patricia, and it drove her insane because she wasn't willing. And then they were
grooming
Olga.
Sarah.
They were thinking Sarah, but they had Olga because Olga was doing the protagonist.
Oh, yeah.
And then she was like, nah, this shit, I'm out. You're all a bunch of crazy witches. I miss Patricia. And then Sarah was the next one that they were going to go with, but Susie kind of volunteered herself, and that willingness made it easier to groom her and train her and prepare her for the merger. It was very... if you've seen Hereditary,
it was very Hereditary. But, and see, watching this movie... It reminded me a lot of Hereditary.
But all the things Hereditary did wrong.
No. Once you watch Midsummer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're still on this. Plot twist. Susie is actually anointed, or is actually Mother Suspiriorum. Suspiriorum. And she goes on a murder spree. Oh, yeah. Reverse back. All of the women of the coven are voting on who they want to continue leading the coven. Do they want Mother Marcos, or do they want Blanc? And all the ones that voted for Marcos, because she was like a false deity or whatever, got their heads exploded. Like, I mean, it was done not very great. Like digitally effects, it was like slow and it hung too long. And it was weird.
Wonder if it's like because they're trying to match it with the music, because there's like a really weird lyrical song that started, and then also because that was one of the main. So they did do things with color. There was a lot of like homage to 70s movies where there was like stupid zooms that made no sense. Yeah. But in this movie, it didn't bother me. They did a great job filming this movie. They did it sparingly,
and they actually did it with purpose.
Yeah, and they did a good job making this movie look like it was filmed in the 70s, even though you know it was filmed on a red camera.
Yeah. They did some like degrading and some grain.
Yeah, and they did a lot of cutaways and inserts of like really abstract things that happened in the other one, but they did it with like colors. Like you get a view of Tilda Swinton sitting in this all purple room, and then there's like pink dirt on the floor. Then it goes to a white floor. Then it goes to a green yard.
Yeah.
But this last scene was the only scene. Oh, they did when the girl stabs herself in the neck. They used the same like acrylic paint color for her blood as they did for.
But everyone else's
Suspiria.
blood was
But everybody else's blood was the regular blood color. And
Which
then
is almost black, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Well, once it oxygen, because it's blue actually until there's oxygen in it.
No, I think that was a myth.
No, your blood.
Jerry, breaking news.
Jerry, breaking news. The scene where she's killing everybody is the only scene that's like completely all red, like it was
all red tones
in the movie.
Yeah.
Also, they gave a backstory for Susie. We know where the hell she's coming from.
Yeah.
Because in the original, the only backstory you get is that they called her, invited her to come
from New York.
From New York, but this Susie was a Mennonite.
From New York.
No, she was from Pennsylvania. She went to New York because Mennonites and
yes,
Amish live in Pennsylvania.
Correct.
That's a state, right?
Pennsylvania.
I always get it.
Yeah,
like I always want to say Pittsburgh. I don't know why.
Pittsburgh is in
Pennsylvania, but I always want to go. Is it Pittsburgh or is it Pennsylvania?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
There we go.
Anyway.
I don't know geography, guys. At least of America.
They don't teach that.
I don't know American geography. I'm from the South. They teach you about the states around you in case they attack, and that's it.
And alligators.
Well, no, we already know about alligators. We all own one. Like, this one was a dance movie, a dance horror movie.
Yeah, they incorporated more elements of dance.
You didn't see them doing the same. That's how I think. When I think in the original, like all the main characters weren't dancers.
Yeah, because they didn't have dancers.
So instead of doing dances like this, where like
it was
the
very
ritual
limited,
was like it was the same. They were doing the same exercises over and over again. Where like in this movie, they were rehearsing the same dance the whole movie, but you actually saw the dance. You saw chunks of it. You got to watch Dakota Johnson actually dance. I don't know if she's a dancer, but she did great. She looked like she might be.
There were actual black people in this.
They were black people. First of all, I thought there was only one.
There was originally only one.
Three.
There were, there ended up being like three of them.
And they lived no. One of them was the one that got her head blown up, but the other two
got blown the up.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It'd be like that sometimes.
That's still more.
She only had her only lines were to count in German.
Yeah.
So,
we'd give this film.
All right. Yeah.
Just go watch this movie. They have regular HD, and then they also have 4K. So if you have Amazon Prime, it's free to watch at that point. Go do it. I can't say enough good things about this film.
It was very, very.
Also,
I loved it.
Thank you so much to my friend Melissa DeLong, who suggested this movie in the first place, which prompted us to watch the original and this one. Because, bitch, you was right.
You was right. Past tense. Present tense. Future tense. You'll be right.
So yeah, if you agree with us, watch the movie, and then if you agree with us, comment down below. If you disagree with us, comment down below so we can find you.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share with all your friends, enemies,
frenemies, families,
enemies,
flaminies,
your flems,
your enemy,
your coven,
animalities. I'm trying to say enemies.
Anemones. Sea anemones.
Your sea anemones, your sea monkeys, your pets.
Everyone.